Ms. Chatterjee. আমি একজন সার্টিফাইড চাইল্ড কাউন্সিলর, একজন থেরাপিস্ট, একজন পজিটিভ সাইকোলজিস্ট। আজকে as we celebrate National Youth Day on the occasion of Swami Vivekananda's birthday, we have taken rather the youth, young boy, he has taken a very strong initiative on coming out from his box and talking about mental wellness, mental well-being. আমরা সকলে মেন্টাল ওয়েলনেস নিয়ে প্রচুর কথাবার্তা বলি among the adults, কিন্তু আমরা পাবলিকলি মেন্টাল ওয়েলনেস নিয়ে খুব একটা কথা বলতে পছন্দ করি না, বিকজ উই ফিল দ্যাট একটা আমাদের রাদার ইন্ডিয়াতে একটা খুব মাইন্ডসেট আছে যে মেন্টাল ওয়েলনেস বা মেন্টাল ওয়েলবিং ইজ ইকুয়াল টু সাম মেন্টাল ডিজিজ। But let me tell you all in this open field that it's not a disease. ঠিক যেরকম আমাদের ডায়াবেটিস হয়, ঠিক যেরকম আমাদের কোনো অন্য জ্বর হয় এবং দেন উই ভিজিট আ ডক্টর ফর কনসালটেশন অ্যান্ড ফর ট্রিটমেন্ট, ঠিক সেরকমই আমরা যদি কোনো সময় ভাবি যে আমরা মানসিক্যালি ভালো নেই বা আমাদের ভালো থাকতে অসুবিধা হচ্ছে, we can always visit counselors, therapists, doctors so that we can get it treated and এবং সেটা আমাদের ফিউচারে পজিটিভ লাইফ লিড করতে, বেটার লাইফ লিড করতে আমাদের হেল্প করতে পারে। ইউথ আজকে ইউথ ডেতে আমরা আমি যেহেতু একটা কলেজের সাথেও অ্যাসোসিয়েটেড আছি, সো আই ফিল দ্যাট ইউথ অফ টুডে দে আর আন্ডার আ লট অফ প্রেশার because of the digital world, because of the constant and rapid changes, যেটা কিন্তু আগে তারা এতটা বা আমরা যখন ছোট ছিলাম আমরা ঠিক কিন্তু এতটা ফেস করিনি। বাট নাওয়াডেজ দে আর ইনটু দ্যাট কনস্ট্যান্ট প্রেশার, কনস্ট্যান্ট কম্প্যারিজন among the social media with their parents। তারপরে তারা তো প্যারেন্টসদের অনেকটাই পায় না, বিকজ নাওয়াডেজ বোথ দ্য প্যারেন্টস আর ওয়ার্কিং। তো তাদের যে বলার জায়গা বা তাদের আজকে যদি কোনো কিছু মনে হয় যে না উই আর নট সামওয়ে সামথিং ইজ নট রাইট, তারা তখন কোথায় যাবে, কোথায় বলবে? সো দে ক্যান অলসো কাম আপ টু কাউন্সিলার্স অ্যান্ড সাইকোলজিস্ট অ্যান্ড হ্যাভ আ ওয়ার্ড উইথ দেম। কিন্তু সেটাই কিন্তু অনেক ইউথরা তারা পিছিয়ে পড়ে, তারা মনে করে দ্যাট নো, নট রিকোয়ার্ড, উই আর গুড। হ্যাঁ, সো এখানে এই ইনিশিয়েটিভ একজন ইউথ নিয়েছে যে face to face kotha bolchi with a renowned psychiatrist, Dr Ranjan Ghosh, who is also the director and the owner of Good Karma. So he is directly in conversation with him where he will deal with topics which are very relevant to the youth of today, আর তাদের সাথে সেই টপিকসগুলো ডক্টর হেল্প করবে, ওকে এক্সপ্লেন করবে, অ্যান্ড ইট উইল অলসো হেল্প once the videos and everything we post, যেটা আমি আগেও বলেছিলাম, it will help parents, it will help the youth to understand that where the problem is and how those can be solved. So this is not something which is for that you have to be behind the curtains. That is why he has come out of the curtain and he has taken that initiative, about which I'm very proud of him, and I'm sure such steps if he takes, it will help the youth of today, and it will be a great tribute from his end, from all of our end, from the entire family of Good Karma. It will be our tribute to Swami Vivekananda.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a heartfelt welcome to all our vibrant youth powering this remarkable initiative. Imagine unlocking the full potential of your mind just as Swami Vivekananda envisioned. Today, on this special occasion of his Jayanti, we dive into that very journey with none other than the visionary Dr. Ranjan Ghosh. Dr. Ranjan Ghosh stands as the founder of Good Karma, Mental Health and Wellness in Kolkata, a trailblazing multidisciplinary center championing brain wellness, counseling, and holistic care. His expertise spans adult and child psychiatry, adeptly addressing challenges like depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar disorder, ADHD, and autism with compassion and precision. Armed with over 2 decades of global experience, including the elite training at the University of Texas, Southwestern Medical College, and credentials in MBBS and MD psychiatry, Dr. Ghosh pioneers telepsychiatry, and suicide prevention in India. He has transferred over 80,000 lives, breaking stigmas through evidence based practices and the empowering mantra think good, do good. Join us on this enlightening journey on January 12, 2026, on a talk show with Dr. Ghosh. As he ignites conversation on mental well being, let's embrace this youth led dialogue with open hearts and inspired minds. Sir, a few words before we begin.
Sure. I just like Sohini pointed out eloquently, I'm just so happy to be here too, because Swami Vivekananda believed in one thing. He believed in youth. That's very much a principle of good karma. We believe in prevention. মানে আমরা কি চাই is that সবার মানসিক রোগের ব্যাপারটা বুঝেনি, because right now we're still in that phase where we're not understanding, and the youth is the only one understanding. So youth-led movement, Gen Z movement, I'm all about it. So I'm very happy to be here with you.
Before we dive into our questions, allow me to extend my deepest gratitude to Miss Sohini, the visionary who graciously invited me to represent today's youth in this inspiring initiative. Dr. Ghosh, with your kind permission, may we begin?
Yes, of course.
Sure, sir. Dr. Ghosh, your expertise lights the path for countless minds, much like Swami Vivekananda's timeless call to awaken our inner strength on this auspicious Jayanti. With that, here we go with our first question. Sir, impact of social media and AI on youth's well-being.
Yeah. Firstly, I mean, Swami Vivekananda, I wish I could touch a flame. Neuroscience tells us if we rely so much on AI, which I also do, I'm not saying I don't, I'm using the benefits of AI. I think you have to really work your brain. Like, for example, what problem can I fix with this device? If you don't do that, I think you'll just use it as a way of becoming more like that cartoon, if you guys remember WALL-E. Yeah, remember WALL-E?
Yes.
Yeah, where everything is done for you, and you're just getting huge, right?
Yeah.
So because we're so reliant then, and I don't think. See, I think there's a fight now between the dependence and reliance on this device, because then whoever owns that device owns you. Or should we just use it as a tool and just get away from it and try to live our life with actually not virtually only?
Okay.
I think the fight's there. Second is on social media. It's the most important thing, guys, I think. Social media, I feel like kids have, because they're raised with social media, we get all, I think, what was the stat? 90% of news and information from TikTok or Instagram Reels.
Yes.
That's pretty significant.
Yes.
As well as I think Facebook is there for older people. So imagine if everyone's on these social media things, right? Either Meta or TikTok or other apps even. I feel that we have to understand those, obviously, and obviously we have to be part of it, but in a limited way. So like, you should know that you're really not missing anything out. I want you to know that as a youth. Because this virtual filter that I'm putting out there is not necessarily true.
Yes.
It's not, I try to be genuine. I mean, as genuine as we can be in 15 seconds, by the way. But I mean, that's another thing, the concentration, right? So like we just talked about cognitive ability. So we're reducing our cognitive ability unless we use that again as a part of our day. We can't use it as the full day. And I see more and more people are too reliant or dependent on that instead of using it as a tool. You know? Yeah, I mean, a safe place to communicate, sure. Give me your Insta instead of phone number, much safer. I think that's cool. But I don't think it's cool to just be on there and doom scrolling reel after reel. ঘুম হচ্ছে না, বারবার চিন্তা হয়ে যাচ্ছে যে I'm not like this person, I want to be this, so and so like this, so that's the person I like, so I have to be this person. It's too much. It's too much psychologically.
Yes.
So then, যদি just ভাবো না, ভাবছো you're not good enough, তাহলে করবে না. That's why I say, Swami Vivekananda বলতো, like you have to like have a strong inner strength, but when you don't, you have to tell someone. And that's what Sohini just pointed out so beautifully. You have to tell someone. You don't tell someone, then কি হবে? চেপে ধরবে, and to me, perfect হতে genuine হবে না, and then you'll lose it one day.
Yes.
for wearing that mask too long.
Hmm.
So I feel like that's a. Please debate this. This is a very important topic, like social media and reform. You know.
So, sir, what actually wants to say to the youth is dive into the ocean of social media, of AI, but don't delve yourself into it. Like you go into a swimming pool, you just have a swim pool of 40-45 minutes and then you come back. Come back into reality, give your own efforts,
Right.
bring your heart, bring your mind together and focus on the things which you can actually do and speak out when you can't. Speak out when you are facing the problem. Speak out. Come out of your own closed box and show the real world what your potential is. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir, for your vision.
Thank you, man. It'll ruin your inner peace, and I think Swami Vivekananda was about inner peace as well. So it ruins your inner peace when you do such things.
Moving forward to the next question. So, how constant comparison from parents as well as online comparisons affect mental well-being in youth? Does it lead to stress, anxiety, and depression?
Yeah, Sharma ki beta. The the constant comparison. So I'll just try to explain this in a very genuine way. So as a child, we need two objects, one maternal and one paternal. And they both should be positive objects that say, beta, you're the best. No harm will come about for you. I'm always there for you. And you're my number one star, shining star. But we never get that at South Asian. That's why all the jokes are there. Not South Asian kids, hey, oi, Bangali ma baba. Indian ma baba. The jokes are, Russell Peters is coming soon to Kolkata. So yeah, he has plenty of jokes of these. But কেন এটা বলে? Because আমরা enough positive reinforcement পাই না। আর এটা আমাদের generation to generation হচ্ছে, not just আজকে। So এটা I can't blame anyone because it's their standard of care. But we are changing and we're needing more. So কি হয় ওই negative-ই পাচ্ছি। So the comparison is a negative, right? You're like another negative. Like I can't get a break. At night I'm scrolling who I want is liking someone else. Here my parents are telling me I should be someone else. And I don't know myself. So তাহলে identity-টা হারিয়ে যাচ্ছে। And আমাদের core attachment হচ্ছে, কেন attachment লাগে is identity. So that একটু হারিয়ে যায়. And I feel that especially I did this, we go through a rebellious phase almost against our own culture. And that's why I'm back here, Kintu, because এত swing করেছিলাম অন্যদিকে USA that I was like আমি কাউকে চিনি না। So আমি এক জায়গায় যাই যেখানে চিনি, right? বাড়ি যাই। So this is very important to understand who you are. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's super important. So when they constantly compare, first you can't grow and you can't understand who you are, I guess in basic terms. And it's very disappointing that we cannot evolve to be more positive, balanced. Because আমি কিন্তু শেখাই সবাইকে. In fact, that's the most special thing I do for the youth or young adults is বাবা মাকে এনে বোঝানো যে এটা ঠিক না. I get a lot of satisfaction in that actually. It's maybe because of my own transference or whatnot, so many will understand this, but it's just you get satisfaction from that. Because then you're helping the kid have a voice and you're also educating them in a nice way that, hey, you mean well possibly, but this is not working. Because you grew up like this doesn't mean you should give that back.
If at times we cannot change the parents, their mentality of constant comparison, then how does a growing child or a youth, they keep their mindset, because parents are constantly comparing. You or whoever like me, we counsel them, but they don't listen. Fine. Yes. They have their own mindset. So the child who is growing up in that environment, how does that child through the growing phase to the youth phase keep their mind positive that okay, no matter what comparison, I will have my focus, I will not be rebellious, I will not be negative, if you can
Agam. So you're basically saying how we're gonna prevent the personality traits or disorder from happening, right? Because we object gulo for the layman, I guess. Basically what I was saying is that we solid object gulo Like, how are we going to make it solid even though the people are not there? So we have to have replacements, but the replacements aren't exactly enough. So really what you can do is be a substitute only and deal with the core issues in therapy. So therapist and having a mentor program. So I go a little bit beyond therapy sometimes for certain people that you have to mentor them then. It's not about only therapy. You got to take it a little bit more like life coaching almost, because then it's a little bit more hands-on-ish, but with firm limits that you're not, there forever, egularchy. But you should still do a little bit more because they don't have that object constancy. But again, teaching them to be self-dependent all along. You can do it. You can do it. But giving them compliments that they possibly did not receive. মানে ওরা পায়নি ওইটা। So আমরা ওইটা balance করতে চেষ্টা করছি। But তাও আমরা 100% তো কাজ করবে না because it's not the core object. Right? So ওই জন্যে তো skirmishing হবে। But what again I'll tell you, Sohini, is that if you have that issue, that fear of abandonment, where do I put that in? I put that in work. I put that in good karma. Because I have this, right? And I've battled this my whole life. So in therapy, what we do is we get the positive reinforcement. Not necessarily get it from a bad relationship. You can get it from a patient in an appropriate manner.
Yes.
You can get it from any job satisfaction.
Yes.
Actually, whichever job you choose in life, you can get it from it. That's it. So I always switch that. আমি হয়তো বাবা মা থেকে পাচ্ছি না, but আমি কাজে থেকে পাই। 100% কাজ থেকে পাই। Yeah. So that's a way to deal with that, I feel. Once you get it, because you have to substitute somewhere. Gym coach, like kichu ekta lagbe amader. Yeah.
That we only have to find out. The person has
And ki hoy na dysfunctional relationship e chole jay ar substitute hoye jay bad boyfriend er sathe ar tokhoni that's when we start the relationship cycle of bad times.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, go ahead.
So with this, what Sir wants to say is, Virat Kohli also took time, Messi also took time, and our all favorite rockstar games also took time. He was in our
we're
very
still
own
waiting.
game.
We're still waiting.
He was in the same studio like this where
We're
he
still
made that
waiting.
game, and look at where did rockstar games went.
Yeah.
So never lose your
We're
identity.
still waiting, GTA.
Correct, sir. There must not be identity crisis, and always share out. Go forward with your dreams, but always share out. Delve into the actual process of how to make yourself the one which you are aiming to be. Don't be like Sarmazika Bita.
Exactly. Fight for uniqueness, man. Fight for uniqueness.
So, what is the main reason and why emotional isolation from family and friends is rapidly increasing in today's youth?
Yeah, so of course we mentioned some of them already. Some of it is, social media addiction or cell phone or technology addiction, I should say. Even video games count. Everything.
Yeah.
So anything drawing away from the family unit. And what's happening is sometimes I think we don't have that communal eating dinner together anymore. I feel like that's a big deal nowadays. Like some people are eating separately, like they have different timings. We are getting busier, more westernization again. Negative things about why I came back from US to here, but I'm seeing him in India now. There's things things that I really wanted to have here, I'm not getting all the time because of we're changing as a society. I feel we're becoming less para, we're becoming less communal, and Bengal is beautiful because we still have it. মানে আমাদের আছে এটা, but মানে কতদিন থাকবে? Like আস্তে আস্তে চলে যাচ্ছে. I feel that, and I feel strongly about that when we reminisce in winter times. Like খুব ভাল লাগে, and we're thinking that এটা কতদিন আর চলবে? We're having all these problems in the news and all that, right? So we never spend that uniqueness of time. Right? Time is the thing, and people actually, can I be honest? Now, eto generation gap hoye geche tomader generation. That's why I relate to you, because আমার তো সারা জীবন তো US এ ছিলাম. So কেন relate করি younger youth এখানে? Because they grew up listening to people like me and seeing what I saw. Because আমাদের generation ওইটা দেখেনি, ওরা সময় পায়নি ওটা দেখতে, আর যদি দেখেছে ওরা বেড়াতে গেছে, and that's খুব কম মানুষ, like কম percentage. So this generation understands what I saw, আমি কি দেখেছি? So I'll just go back to that. That's why it's become a huge generation gap. আর আমি কি করি? I communicate, and Shravini probably as well, communicate between the two generations because আমরা দুদিকটা বুঝি, right? আমরা দুদিকটা বুঝি. So, but আমি এই দিকটা কিন্তু বেশি বুঝি. I'm not joking because it is the future and you have to embrace it and you have to understand where we went wrong. Because আমাদের generation প্রচুর মানে খারাপ জিনিস করেছে and বললে হবে না, and we're leaving it in a mess for the next generation. So you have to realize that we made mistakes and we have to have this youth and help them correct. Now, if we're so pompous to understand that we've done everything correct in society, then why is our AQI this way? Why is our water not pure spring water that I have to drink Himalaya water? Right? Why is it like that? Because we haven't done it correctly. So, jotoi log boluk, we have not done it correctly. We can be nostalgic of the past, but that wasn't a good foundation to where we are now. And that's why the youth is going, tumra tik na. Tumra ঠিক করোনি. In fact, এই corruptionটা কি? এটা কি জিনিস? So they're questioning everything. They're making us see our superego, if you will. But I don't think people like that when they're older in power because they feel there's lack of respect and lack of this and lack of that. Now, these are extreme political things I'm saying, but even in the home, if you think about it, in a minor way, একই ব্যাপার, right? So বাড়িতে কি হয়? বাড়িতে হচ্ছে বাবা মারা বলছে এরম আমরা দেখেছি, আমরা জানি এটা করলে ভালো হবে, সরকারি কাজ, doctor, lawyer, right? But think about what you're telling them right now. কে আমাদের সরকারি কাজ, right? So you have to understand what you're asking them to do. They might not feel morally in line with you. Okay. So that's a real relevant fact কিন্তু সরকারি কাজ is the pinnacle of all কাজেস, ঠিক আছে? So ওইটা আমাদেরকে একটু ভাঙতে হবে, আমাদেরকে একটু বুঝতে হবে যে পৃথিবীটা একটু পাল্টাচ্ছে আর তোমরা বোঝো না পৃথিবী, আমি যেরকম বুঝি আর এরা যেরকম বোঝে. Because আবার বললাম in the beginning, AI, social media, how much can you understand? I mean, you guys have been born into it.
Yes.
I only saw the computers being developed to make it. So it's a huge differential, right? So I try to explain that to Indian parents because I mean, mone kori ora progressive nole asbe na amar kache. They also are very good and progressive. I shouldn't just be like they're only one way, otherwise they wouldn't come see me. But yes, their training is that. I'm just trying to get you to understand psychologically how they might be framed, and psychologically how you were differently framed. Therefore, you guys might be feeling alone. Maybe you'll tell me. And তুমি যদি idea bolo, you might not feel comfortable because they might not receive the idea well. Like you want to sell hoodies online, they'll be like, what? Like I don't get that. Like,
How is this possible?
How is that? And but now Swami Vivekananda Jayanti, I want to sell hoodies online. They won't get that. Do you see my point? So the point is that they're closed-minded, but you're seeing things that they're not seeing because algorithms don't know. We have to consider these things. They will put a detailed ব্যাপার, but consider করতেই হবে as it's breaking us apart as families. So we have to get in the middle ground.
Dr. Ghosh, your insights today have not only demystified mental well-being, but ignited a spark in every young heart there. On behalf of this youth-led movement, thank you for empowering us to think good, do good, and care for our minds as fiercely as Vivekananda urged us to harness our potential. Let's carry this forward, and personally an applause for you, sir.
Thank you.